Salvete! I'm Nancy Llewellyn, as you know, your children's Latin teacher. This is a study guide which will help you and your children prepare for the quarter test that is coming up in about a week's time as we finish up the academic year at St. Joseph's Academy. You will be informed via email of the exact dates when your child needs to be prepared to take the test. This guide is going to help you get ready at home, and I hope that you will use it several times to help your student prepare. I'm going to be giving you quite a bit of information in the next few minutes that your child doesn't need to know for the test, but I'm hoping that it will help you understand what's going on so that you can work more effectively with your child to get ready. Allow me to introduce you to our little Latin zoo. The kids have been working with these animals in particular and others over the course of the year, but our work this quarter has focused pretty intensively on the names of the animals that you see here. And again, this is not a zoology class. The animals are not important. They've been chosen because their Latin names all fit within the second of the three great families of nouns in the Latin language. All of their names, if we organize them by name, they fall within what we call the second declension, and that's why we have this number 2 up here. That's just for you. Your children don't need to know that, but you may have had some Latin before, so it might be meaningful to you. Now, this is Ursus. This is Equus. This is Porcus. This is Sciurus. This is Caper. This is Cuniculus. And this over here, everybody's favorite, is Crocodilus. Your child knows all those words and knows to which animals they belong. Your child is also familiar with the hand signs that fit each of these words. Your child will not be tested specifically on whether or not he or she knows the hand signs, but in all likelihood, he or she will be using them, and I'll be using them, we'll be using them while we're doing the test. So, here again is Ursus, the bear, that's him. Equus, the horse, that's this guy here. Porcus, the pig, him. Sciurus, the squirrel, him. Caper, the goat. Cuniculus, the rabbit. And Crocodilus, the crocodile. All right. Your student does need to know all of those words to do this test, and I feel very confident that they all do. Now, allow me to tell you, with some writing on the wall, what the questions are that they're going to be asked on their test. Your child has not seen any written Latin this entire year, and that's wholly appropriate. When we're little tiny children, we don't see any writing at all until we are 4 or 5 years old and we start learning our letters of the alphabet. But by that time, we're already proficient speakers of our native language, whether it's English, whether it's Spanish, whether it's Vietnamese, whatever. Human beings learn language, first off, as sound, the intersection of sound and meaning. And that's what we've been doing all year in Latin class. I've been teaching them Latin by sound and gesture. And eventually, once they have internalized the language, they'll learn to read. But that's further down the road. I have written for you, because you're grown-ups and necessarily very written language oriented, I've written up on the board the questions that they're going to be asked in what we call the singular form. There's another set of questions that your student's going to be asked in the plural form, but for right now, let's just deal with singulars. This is question number 1. Quis est. Your students have heard that a million times. It just means, who is this? When I ask your students that question, I usually sign it. So I go, quis, it looks like this, quis est. It's a little question mark on the end. Quis est, who is this? Second question, it's actually a command. Saluta eum. Say hello to this animal, whoever it is I'm pointing to. Here's the third one. It's a command and a question. Tange eum. That's touch him. And then I ask the question, quem tangis. That's whom, not who, but whom are you touching? We'll keep going. Here's part 2. We've got 2 sets of questions here. The first one, cui to meldas. That is, to whom do you give honey? It's actually honey give in Latin. To whom you honey give. To whom are you giving the honey? I have to follow, so the student might answer to the bear, not to the horse, you hope. All right. Question number 2. Cui to mel non das, which is, of course, to whom do you not give honey? A good answer to that might be to the horse, to the crocodile, to the rabbit. Okay? Again, if you're not following this so well right now, don't panic. You're going to see in a few minutes what all of this looks like in action. Miss Veery will be helping me playing the part of your student, and I'll be playing the part of the examiner. So you're going to see this in action, how it works. We're almost done here. Part 2, question 2. I'll have a little baby bear, a little baby squirrel, something like that, and ask the question, cujus infans est. That's whose baby is it? If it's a little bear, a good answer would be ursi. It's the bear's baby. If it's a little crocodile, a good answer might be crocodili. It's the crocodile's baby. But I can also ask, cujus infans non est. That's whose baby isn't it? And if I've got a baby bear here, then a good answer to the question, whose baby isn't it, might be cuniculi. It's not the rabbit's baby. It might be porci. It's not the pig's baby. So, last one. Quocum, somebody, that's just an N for name. Quocum, somebody, sedet. With whom is someone sitting? Cum urso, with a bear. Cum crocodilo, with a crocodile. Cum porco, with a pig. There are other possibilities. Now, so that's all of our questions in the singular. I say in the singular because they are phrased in such a way that they're asking about individual animals, not groups of multiple animals, individuals. And the answers to each of these questions are always going to be in the singular. Who is it? It's a bear. Say hi to him. Hello, bear. Touch him, not touch them. Whom are you touching? A bear, etc., etc., etc. Again, you're going to see this in a minute. The point, from a Latin teaching perspective, the point of this is that each of these questions, when posed to your child who is standing up there in front of those animals, each of these questions will cause your child to give a one-word answer, which is one and the same word, but with different endings. So if I ask the question, quis est, and the answer is bear, your child will say ursus. If I say saluta eum, say hello to the bear, your child is going to say salve urse. Do you hear that difference between ursus and urse? That's how Latin works. Nouns change their ending depending on what they are doing in the sentence, or depending on the situation as a whole. So what we have here is a structure of little cues of 6 different cues that create 6 different situations in which one noun has to take 6 different forms in order for the answer to be correct. And English does not do this. A bear is a bear. Whether he's eating you or you're eating him, or whether you're saying hi to him or touching him or he's having a baby. Bear is always bear. That is not true in Latin. And all of the work that we've done this year has been ordered toward helping your student internalize that most fundamental structural fact about Latin. Until your child really gets that principle and accepts it and uses it and shows that he or she can use it, there's no point in teaching your child a whole lot of Latin vocabulary, because that vocabulary will have no place to go. All right?